Are there many abandoned properties that are likely occupied by squatters?
No. There's probably the sort of opposite, which is really nice, brand new housing developments that are like city managed and financed and whatnot. That's a cemetery. These up here. It's like brand spanking new post-Katrina. There was a bunch of like turmoil about the fact that they condemned like former viable space and like restrained people from returning to get their property. That's in the shut too. But it's like strange because they're like right across the street from one another. You have like some places where it's like not upkept or whatever. Like this Taco Bell's brand new. Claiborne's actually developing a lot as of lately. I don't know. They're putting in a decent amount of storefronts and stuff.
Maybe an extent to which I guess that's a trend that there's investment in downtown areas, or
I mean, New Orleans is like hit or miss. We're the fastest growing entrepreneurial city in the country right now, and the Garden District area, like, which my neighborhood's considered Lower Garden, and then like as you come away from the high land, these are like much lower sea level areas, so they're prone for flooding more easily. Property values decline a lot more as you move away from St. Charles. The area by where we were at the bar, I would say, is very geographically viable, but I don't know if it's like zoned for warehouse, or I know that the projects, the mixed income housing development stuff that's over there, some of it used to be linked to like downtown development projects. So if you wanted to build a skyscraper, the city would sort of like mandate that you also did these like sort of faux shotgun, historic looking, basically like bougie housing projects. And so, I don't know, crime is still relatively high in that area, and you don't get as much investment per se until it's like super organic and like artsy, like hipsters come in and save it.
I noticed Morris has a like corner on the market there on the billboards. Where did Houdat originate?
I don't really know.
I didn't realize it was a New Orleans thing until I got here.
I know there's a like minor kerfuffle about NFL trying to like copyright it, and that's kind of funny just because I don't know, if you like go downtown, like the people who run the t-shirt shops are not exactly like guaranteeing that they have like, I don't know, like the Nike logo and anything. say crime went down when the Saints won the Super Bowl. Like that season. Oh, that was funny.
I wonder to what extent that was a domesticating force on the culture.
Yeah.
So you said the fastest like entrepreneurial growth, but like over what time span? Like a year or like a 10 year? You know what I mean? 'Cause,
I'd
like,
say
maybe it was real low 5 years ago.
Post Katrina, post recession. So like 2007, 2008.
Right, but that's wouldn't that be when New Orleans was most like hit?
Well, right. So 5 is when it hits in August. 6 and 7 are like logistic recovery. Everything since then has been like relatively like tech, new industry stuff. You also had like a lot of like old network like political corruption displaced and just sort of like taking their losses outside of town. Which, I mean, any change opens opportunity for like new development. And what I don't have like empirical evidence to like demonstrate this per se, but the way it like anecdotally seems is that the corrupt politics of Louisiana sort of fended off large-scale corporate investment in the state in like the latter part of the 20th century. But what that meant was that if you were going to like endure a development process and sustain a certain population, that the local economy would have to be relatively vibrant. The small business owners, right? Like if you're gonna shun and make it problematic for like big firms to hire lots of people, then your economy's naturally gonna have a more a larger number of smaller firms respond to certain types of demand. And so what you get in New Orleans, relative to the rest of the country in the latter part of the 20th century, is that they're more like localized and culturally focused compared to like suburbia or some shit, or other major cities. So like, I don't know, like people don't go to like Fridays very often here. They go to some like local derivative of what they want to eat. They invest in local music, local food, local like apparel even. And so those are actually the structural and institutional features that you would need. Like it's a relatively unregulated sector of the market compared to like large-scale corporate investment. Which when you fuck up your large-scale corporate investment finance system, and the only way you're going to get like sustainable growth is from the bottom up, you need that vibrant ability to convert small scale into larger scale business ventures. But I would say we were like a petri dish or an incubator of ideal conditions that was also on a growth trend from a recovery process. So I don't know, you just got a lot of young people who are like, yeah, this is fun, this is cool, all I need is a fucking Google hookup and some internet, and I'm gonna start my company here. And it's got cool culture, low property values, and like everybody here is like desperate to like grow and do better things and like progress the city. Where am I taking you, dudes?
Royal
Street.
Word. We just passed Royal,
Okay.
but it runs the other way. But do you know the cross street?
The one that Pizza Delicious is on, we're right around the corner from that.
Grumble. So no, you don't in Cross Street. Bicyclists, fucking pencils.
It's cool he's wearing a reflective vest. It really makes him stand out.
Yeah, I give him a buy. Though he's on the wrong side of the road.
Not one-way street.
Yeah. Let's see.
Friendly bar.
We're like, I think across street. I think we're between like Press and Montag. So we have to go east.
This is like where there would Pete, you and I were talking about the noise regulation and stuff that Mark was talking about. Like one of the clubs that got sort of levied with those sort of suits is like on the next block.
People gotta fight for their rights and party. Should just have everyone go out. So yeah, you can take, like the next left if you want. Or yeah, after this one.
Next left, dude.